Transformers: The Pre-Make is a 2014 desktop documentary created by video essayist Kevin B. Lee. But what exactly is the film about? And despite the title, why is it not in the least bit concerned with Optimus Prime's fight against the villainous Megatron? Lee's film is created by incorporating over 300 behind-the-scenes videos, official and unofficial, of the 2014 major blockbuster Transformers: Age of Extinction, directed by Michael Bay. But this is not just a featurette of Bay's literal explosive production. Upon watching the documentary, we discovered that Lee has created these clips and utilizes various other editing techniques to create a narrative, highlighting issues and topics such as the seemingly omnipresent surveillance of the modern age and the social and economic effects of major blockbuster productions across the globe. However, what I want to explore in this video essay is how Transformers: The Pre-Make is a film of personal perspectives, and how the desktop documentary style reflects this, and how Lee, through careful selection of these videos, creates a layered but cohesive narrative structure, highlighting themes of the personal and, in some cases, censorship. Firstly, I want to look at the format of the film itself. The film is a desktop documentary, a phrase coined by Lee himself. The film takes place entirely on a desktop computer interface, with Lee seen typing into Google, searching through files, and having multiple videos playing at once. He uses the interface like anyone who has used a computer would. This is the first step of how Lee uses the personal. As Lee himself states alongside Jerry Anger in Sutter Goes Meta, desktop documentary and its narrativization of screen-mediated experience, Transformers: The Pre-Make succeeds in integrating pre-construction by showing the desktop context in which the audience encounters daily, construction, reconstruction by guiding the spectator through performative gestures, and passage by highlighting its own meaning-making process. The gestures of clicking, typing, or dragging are necessary to create something perceptible and meaningful on the screen. The actions create the narrative of the documentary. The personal element is that it's Lee creating this search. It's Lee typing, it's Lee dragging the mouse. We see his file names, his organization style. It's Lee's Transformer computer backdrop, inserting his own personality and personal method of working into the documentary. I believe it's these personal stylistic choices that engross and allow the viewer to relate to the processes happening on screen. The whole documentary is structured like you're looking at an internet deep dive you may fall into at 3 AM on a Monday night, a personal element anyone can relate to. Partway through the film, we see a video where a man in Hong Kong talks about the use of 3D cameras while watching the film production in his street. A woman makes mention of seeing only one camera, which he replies with, "Nonsense, cameras are everywhere." Lee holds on to this phrase and then zooms out from the clip, where we see multiple angles of this same street being filmed, multiple personal perspectives, all collectively surrounding and recording the production of this film. As Angelos Koutsorakis states in their journal Cinema and Surveillance Capitalism, Consumer Behaviorism and Labor Alienation in Paranoia, the development of digital technology has collapsed the neat boundaries between the public and private sphere. With the development and globalization of handheld cameras and smartphones, footage of movie sets and productions are more widely available than ever. The multiple camera angles of this very moment convey this. As website Also Lifelike states when talking about Lee's project, we now live in an age where consumers are their own producers. How does this new power transform the dynamic between big media corporations and audiences whose traditional role is to passively consume entertainment? The personal way we interact with the world can now and is being utilized by companies such as Paramount and is used as promotion, generating excitement and driving subcultures around the world. The line between movie and reality is beginning to blur as we gain more and more access to the making of movies through our online personas and exposure. This doesn't need to be conscious on part of the recorder either. We see a woman believing a convoy of prop vehicles to be a crime scene.
I don't know if those are things from crime scenes or what.
And although many studios do restrict their footage, there are hundreds of comments below hundreds of videos that show hype and excitement for the property. Lee conveys this by collating these videos, showing the scale and the variety of these interactions with the production, thereby driving the narrative of the documentary and by association informing the theme of surveillance. In the film, we see filming locations for base production are all across the world. Lee lists how many amateur videos he found to be captured in each location. These locations range from Detroit to Chicago all the way to Hong Kong. Lee specifically highlights that in mainland China there are no amateur videos to be found. only 2 official government-created promotional videos of Michael Bay. The lack of videos itself conveys the restriction of the personal and highlights the change of perspective across different cultures of the world. As De Ji says in his paper Online Censorship and Journalist Tactics, A Chinese Perspective, published in 2014, the same year as the documentary's release, the connection between mainland China and the outside world is channeled through a small number of gateways sanctioned by the party state. The connection is often unstable and slow, therefore internet users prefer staying inside the system. In this sense, the Chinese authority has built a virtual national border. Lee highlighting this specifically shows in a digital age where it seems like the internet can provide total freedom, that personal perspectives of large populations of the world can still be monitored and hidden by censorship, highlighting both the theme of surveillance and a new theme of censorship within Lee's documentary. In conclusion, Transformers the Premake is a documentary which uses the personal viewpoint of not just its creator and silent narrator Kevin B. Lee, but the personal perspectives of many individuals worldwide, stringing together a narrative and highlighting themes of surveillance and censorship on a global scale. The film's alternative format and style does not just highlight these themes, but strengthens them, making Transformers the Premake an unconventional documentary driven by personal perspective.